The CBC presents
Canadian Snapshots.
Canada. Its romance, its color, its good humor, and its absorbing interest, caught by the lens of the radio camera as it sweeps once more across a nation's vast panorama. Music also from the pen of one of Canada's native composers.
Snapshot number 1.
A scene on a train just after crossing into Canada by way of Niagara Falls.
Tickets, please.
Here you are, conductor.
Thank you. Toronto, eh?
That's right.
First trip to Canada?
Oh, no. I come up all the time on business. After stopping off in Toronto, I'm going up to the Muskoka Lakes for a few days.
Well, skiing, I suppose.
Oh, yes, sir.
Good place for sports, especially this time of the year.
Well, it's good at any time of the year. The swellest spot for swimming, too. Well, I have a summer cottage there, so I ought to know.
Well, I hope you have a good time.
I'm sure I will. Thanks, conductor.
Tickets?
Here's mine.
Thank you. Vancouver.
Mm-hmm.
You've certainly got a long trip ahead of you. Been out to the coast before?
Well, not since I was a girl. But I've had such lovely memories of British Columbia, I've always wanted to see it again. This is the first vacation I've managed to get in 5 years, and I'm celebrating by going right across the continent.
Well, you won't be disappointed. You'll see some grand scenery on the way out there. And Vancouver's a great city. Yes, indeed. I'm from B.C. myself, and I wish I was there right now, breathing in that mild Pacific air.
Take your choice in Canada.
From east to west, winter or summer, all parts of this widespread country will provide enjoyment to the visitor who travels there.
Snapshot number 2.
A picture that at first sight looks like a double exposure.
A visitor comes to Glace Bay, Nova Scotia.
Well, Edith, Jesse and I are certainly glad you've come to stay with us in Glace Bay. Especially seeing as how you're our favorite sister. We haven't much to show you here. Nothing like you'd find in a big city, but we've a mighty fine transatlantic wireless station and, of course, our coal mines.
The transatlantic wireless station?
Yes.
Well, that's something I'm not going to miss.
Oh, lots of visitors go to see it. Mighty interesting, too. That's where Marconi sent the first wireless message from the North American continent to Europe.
Oh?
We'll take you there tomorrow.
Oh, thanks, George. And how about arranging to have me taken down one of the mines?
All right.
I've never been underground in my life except in railway tunnels and city subways.
Underground, eh?
Mm-hmm.
How about under the sea? Have you ever gone down the submarine?
Hardly, George. Only you men can get a break like that. I've only been underwater as far as I could dive.
Then here's your chance to go really below the sea.
What do you mean, George? You're not going to take me down in a submarine, are you?
Not at all, but you asked to go down one of the coal mines, didn't you?
Yes.
Well, if I can get permission for you to go down one particular mine I know of, you'll not only be going underground, but under the sea as well.
Perhaps that sounds like a paradox, but the entrance shaft of the famous coal mine, Dominion 1B, at Glace Bay on Cape Breton Island, Nova Scotia, is only 30 yards from the sea. Most of the mine lies under the Atlantic Ocean, with the working face 8 miles offshore.
It's a fact. Snapshot number 3.
Music from tonight's Canadian composer.
Mr. Lawrence Goodwill, young 19-year-old Vancouver musician.
Mr. Goodwill is last year's winner of the scholarship awarded annually by the Canadian Performing Rights Society, which entitles the winner to a year's study at the Toronto Conservatory of Music.
Tonight we shall hear one of his compositions originally written for piano and especially orchestrated for Canadian Snapshots.
March by Lawrence Goodwill, played by the orchestra under the direction of Samuel Hersenhorn. You have just heard March, written by Lawrence Goodwill, tonight's representative of Canadian composers.
Snapshot number 4.
One of the romantic regions of the continent,
The Caribou, the vast inland territory of British Columbia.
To this great area have flocked all types of men.
Men seeking gold, men seeking furs, and men merely following the crowd.
And after them, the hardy settler, seeking a home and a stable living.
(1863), the days of the gold rush to British Columbia.
The great Caribou Wagon Road along the precipices of the Fraser River Canyon has just been completed.
2 prospectors from California are making their way along it into the interior with a train of pack mules.
Dag nabbit, Alec. This here's a gall darndest country to get into I ever did see.
Oh, I don't know.
Well, we've been traveling for nigh on 3 weeks now. Maybe we'll be able to pack this grub as far as the Thompson River. But how in tarnation will we ever get the pay dirt out? By sassafras, I'm all done in already.
Yeah, I don't know, partner. We gotta wait till we strikes it, that's all. You should have tried to get in before Governor Douglas built this Caribou Road.
Bad, eh?
Oh, bad? Yeah, it certainly was. You see, I was here in 58 when the first rush started.
Yeah?
Yep. There weren't a roadhouse in sight anywheres along the way to stop at.
Yeah.
Not a one. No, we passed many a poor devil. Yep, frozen stiff they were, right beside the trail.
Was, eh?
Yep, indeed.
Yeah, even a corpse would be a change. We ain't passed a house or a living soul all day. These cussed mules is driving me plumb crazy. Creeping along like they was going to a funeral, they be.
Yeah, I know. They certainly slow, partner, but they get you there. You gotta admit that. They get you there.
Yeah, sooner or later.
Yep, they're sure footed along these here narrow roads, and you can hitch plenty of weight on them, too. Yep, plenty of weight. 400 pounds on some of them. Yep, this ain't no country for horses, you know. Best be careful now, partner. Another 100 yards ahead there. We'll be going around that bend in front of us.
Yeah, I see it. I got my eyes open.
That's fine.
I'm watching, Alec. Hey, sweet spirits of lighter.
What's the matter?
Holy smokes.
What's the matter?
By crikey, partner, am I seeing things?
Where?
What's that clear-looking animal ahead of us there? Coming around the road with a hump on its back.
Where? I don't see it. Where?
Well, it's certainly queer-looking. Look.
Where? Oh! Yeah, I see it. Why, it looks like an animal I saw once in a storybook. I think they use them on the deserts in Africa. A camel. Yeah, that's what it is, a camel. Sure as my name's Alec Brown, it's a camel.
Sure is fantastic looking.
Maybe they live here, too, huh? Hey, did you get a whiff of that smell?
Sure do.
Who knows?
Can't place it.
Cantankerous, isn't it? Sure is. Say, look out! Stop them! The mules are turning back! Whoa there! They're breaking loose! Hold them, Joe! Hold them! Get away from you! Hold them, Joe!
There they go! Dead, damn it, there goes all our grub and supplies,
A strange story of the early days of British Columbia.
21 camels imported to pack goods into the gold mining regions of British Columbia.
These camels, whose odor caused panic to other pack animals, were turned loose and remained a terror alike to horses and mules who encountered them.
The last of these odd animals survived as long as 1905.
It's a fact.
Snapshot number 5.
Sent to us by Miss Eleanor Henry, a little 9-year-old girl of Hamilton, Ontario.
Canada is the home of many natural oddities, some of which have already been presented by Canadian Snapshots.
The magnetic hill near Moncton, New Brunswick, where the illusion is created of being at the foot of the hill when one is really at the top.
The reversing falls of the St. John River, also in New Brunswick. Rapids formed by the narrow mouth of the river. At low tide, flowing toward the ocean. At high tide, flowing inland.
Canadian Snapshots now brings you another oddity, the Burning Springs at Niagara Falls, Ontario.
Tonight, we take you there where the Special Events Department will explain all about it. So now, over to Niagara Falls.
Good evening, Canada. I am speaking to you from under the Falls View Observation Tower overlooking the Niagara Cataract at Niagara Falls, Canada. The Falls View Observation Tower is a large building with a glassed-in promenade on the roof from which thousands watch one of the world's 7 wonders. But though it is an awe-inspiring sight from here, it is not with old Niagara that we are concerned tonight. Instead, with something beneath this very observation tower. After you enter in the front door of the building, directly to the right is another door on which is lettering which reads, The Old Burning Spring. I am standing in front of this door, and beside me at the moment is Mr. Martin Gurin, who acts as guide to the many visitors who come to hear and see proven this old Indian legend of the water that burns. In just a moment, I'm going to ask Mr. Gurin to take me through that door. But just before we carry on, I'd like to tell you the story of the burning spring. The old burning spring is said to have been discovered by the Indians nearly 200 years ago. How the Indians discovered that the water burned is very interesting indeed. The youngest chief of the Chippewa tribe at that time was Sparkling Water, a boy of 17 summers who one day, accompanied by a band of warriors, went afar on a hunting expedition. He returned to camp with his spoils, among which was a bull moose weighing about 600 pounds. It was during a grand celebration in honor of his unusual feat that the medicine men, while striking flints together to ignite the faggots, accidentally caused a spark to fly into the spring, setting fire to the water and causing a great flame. When the Indians saw this, they were very much alarmed and afraid, believing a curse had been pronounced upon them, and fled in terror toward Queenston. The whole tribe had traveled some considerable distance before their medicine men could induce them to return and worship the burning spring as a god of fire. As time advanced, the Indians were driven in the background, and the white man found his way to the shores of old Niagara, and history tells us that the old burning spring was put on exhibition. And today, it is here, right through this door, produced as nearly as possible like the old Indian legend. Now, have I got that pretty straight, Mr. Gurin?
Yes, you have.
All right. Let's go through the door. Going through, we find ourselves in a small, dimly lit circular chamber with a cement floor. In the center of the floor, there is a cement-lined pit, or well, about 5 feet deep and 4 feet in diameter. And now, let's look down the well. Water. About a foot of sparkling, crystal-clear water. Well, so far, it's just an ordinary-looking spring, with one exception. Sticking straight up out of the hole in the center of the bottom of the well, there is a length of pipe, just ordinary pipe that might carry the gas to your gas stove. On the pipe, about 6 inches from the top, which is about level with my eyes, is a tap, which also might belong to your gas stove. All right, now, Mr. Gurin, why do they call this the burning spring?
Because it actually burns.
Well, is this one of its off nights, or just won't it burn for strangers?
No, I'll show you by taking the pipe out of the crevice of the rock. Now, do you see what happens?
I certainly do see what happens, and you, ladies and gentlemen, can probably hear the water of the spring come bubbling and surging up from the hole in the bottom of the pool. But I'm sorry, Mr. Gurin, and I don't want to appear to be a stickler on one point, but it's still not burning.
All right, and now I will show you. By taking a taper, placing it close to the surface of the water, I will now ignite the water.
And there it goes. The entire surface of the water is burst into the flames, rising almost to the top of the pit itself. And so the burning spring does burn. Say, this is all right. It's the warmest I've been all day. Now, Mr. Gurin, that we've got it going nicely, I hate to bring this up, but how do you put it out?
Just by placing this pipe back into the crevice of the rock.
I see, and now Mr. Gurin is trying to place the pipe back. And there it goes, putting out the fire and stopping the flow of water. What would happen if you opened the tap on top of the pipe, Mr. Gurin?
Just this.
Is that gas?
It is.
Can you light it?
Yes, I can.
And so he did. The gas now is escaping as flame, blue and white flame, looking exactly like a gas jet.
The peculiar thing about this burning spring is that the blue flame is the coldest part of the fire. All the fire and the heat is contained in the white part of the flame. You can put your hand or a piece of cloth through this blue flame, and it will not burn or mark you in any possible way. And that is the reason for it being put on exhibition.
Well, thank you very much indeed, Mr. Martin Gurin, for this visit to Canada's own burning spring. And this concludes, ladies and gentlemen, one half of Snapshot number 5 from Niagara Falls. To complete the exposure, we take you now to Hamilton, Ontario.
Good evening. Possibly you're wondering why Snapshot number 5 is in 2 parts tonight. But as regular listeners know, we have offered for some time on this program a $10 prize for oddities sent in and used on the program. Now, the winner of tonight's story of the burning springs at Niagara Falls, Ontario, sent in a little script on child's stationery with a picture of a little dog imprinted on the top. The script was printed with lead pencil, and when it came across the desk in Toronto, we were struck by its wording, inasmuch as it was a complete, condensed, dramatized script of the spring at Niagara. After a decision, we figured out the young lady who sent it in must be possibly 7, 8, or possibly 11 years of age. And it brought home the fact that radio, although still young, has taken hold to the extent that the little people in this world of ours are beginning to understand its operation. So therefore tonight, sitting here in Hamilton with me, is a little lady whose name is Eleanor Henry. And Eleanor tells me she's 8 years of age. Now, Eleanor and I are going to try and reenact what she thought would explain the burning springs in her little script, which Daddy or Mother Henry didn't even know she was mailing to us. So we've got this little script here, and Eleanor and I are going to read the parts. And Eleanor was just clever enough to put in this script a boy and his father rather than the girl. So, Eleanor, let's just read this little script here. If we make a noise with the paper, why, that isn't going to mind either. So I'll start up here at the top here now. Boy with his father going around the pool, etc., at Niagara Falls, and he comes to the burning springs.
What do you call this?
Why, this is the burning springs.
Why do they call it that?
Well, that's because the water comes up and burns if you strike a match.
Have you got a match?
Mm-hmm, I have.
Will you strike it?
Yep, just a minute. There we are now.
It's starting to burn.
That's fine. And this was signed, yours sincerely, Eleanor Henry. Now, Eleanor, let's you and I talk just for a minute or two, eh? What gave you the idea of sending in the story of the burning springs?
I read about from a paper my daddy brought home.
A paper your daddy brought home. Well, now, where did you get the idea of writing it out like a dramatic script?
From the reader we use at school. It shows how to make a play from some stories in the book.
Well, that's just fine now. Now, will you tell me what grade you're in at school?
I'm in grade 4.
Mm-hmm. And what do you like to do best?
I like art the best. I like to print with watercolors.
You like art and you like to paint with watercolors. Well, now, what else do you do when you're not in school, Eleanor?
I practice the piano and listen to my radio in my room and play outside.
You listen to your radio in your room. Is it a little wee radio or is it a big radio?
A little wee one.
A little wee one? How big?
Oh, about...
Oh, little wee one, eh? Well, now, let's see. What kind of programs do you like to listen to?
I like stories and band music.
Stories and band music. Do you like loud bands or soft bands?
Oh, I like soft bands.
Soft bands, eh? Is there anyone in Canada that you'd like to say hello to tonight?
I would like to say hello to Maurice Miller, who lives in Montreal.
Do you suppose, Montreal's away down, let me see. Oh, we have to go through Toronto and Kingston and away down that way. Maybe you better say hello again a little louder, eh?
I would like to say hello to Maurice Miller, who lives in Montreal.
Maurice Miller, who lives in Montreal. Well, Eleanor, I've got an envelope here. And in this envelope, I'm going to open it up. And I want to give you something. Wait till we see if I can get it out of here. Now, that's the next thing. See what this says? What's that say right there? Does that say your name? Who's that? Is that Eleanor Henry? And where do you live?
On 96 Paisley Avenue North.
In Hamilton, eh? And it says $10. Will you take that from me?
Thank you.
Thank you very much for sending in your little script. Thanks very much. Now, I just want to take a few moments that are left here at my disposal to thank listeners for the hundreds of encouraging letters and ideas which have been sent in regarding Canadian Snapshots to our Toronto office. Many letters have been sent in and have mentioned the fact that they consider this their program. Well, audience, if that be your wish, most certainly we can make it just that by carefully constructing the program to your liking. In many instances, suggestions have been sent to us already that have been part of previous Canadian Snapshot programs. Therefore, if you feel that your suggestion is being neglected, it may have appeared on a previous program, as I have mentioned. Then, too, we have received many letters with the same idea in mind. And naturally, to arrive at a decision as to who's to be the winner, we have taken a letter with the earliest postmark and will award the prize money on this basis. Now, a word to new listeners on this program. May I say that if you have an oddity in mind, which you think would be suitable as an actuality broadcast on this program, please write. Your suggestions, and I can assure you this is right from the bottom of my heart, are always appreciated. Because in Canadian Snapshots, we've departed from the usual way of broadcasting. It's snapshot pictures, it's Canada. So if you've got an idea, and it's used in an actuality picture, we'll send you $10 for your trouble. And by the way, it's not necessary to write a script on the subject you have in mind. Just jot down the idea, and if feasible, we'll do the rest. And our sincere thanks again for all your letters. The address, by the way, to send your letters is the CBC Special Events Department, 341 Church Street, Toronto. And now, Sammy Hersenhorn in Toronto, I was going to get Eleanor to sort of start the music back there to finish off our program. But you've got a name that's unpronounceable to a child. I'm not kidding you, honestly. I've got a name in the same category, and I guess the only thing we can do is change our names to Smith, Brown, or something the little folks can handle. So, if you're all set with the music in Toronto, baton raised, you can lower it anytime.
Thank you, Niagara Falls, and thank you, Hamilton, for a real double exposure picture brought to Canadian Snapshots. The whirligig of Canada's exhilarating winter season is now at its liveliest.
For her winter visitors, there is ample opportunity everywhere to enjoy her snow-clad playground.
But I'm too tied down to business this winter to take a holiday.
With the children at school, I can't possibly get away at this time.
If you are prevented from visiting Canada this winter, you may come instead this summer, and you'll find that Canada then is equally attractive as a summer vacation land.
So plan ahead for a trip to Canada. Canadian Snapshots has been produced in Toronto. The orchestra, featuring music by a Canadian composer, was directed by Samuel Hersenhorn. Another volume of Canadian Snapshots will be heard next week at the same time. Ici Radio Canada, this is the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation.